Spanish YouTube?
I think they do speak Spanish.
A sign with a circle and
Hola a todos. I am back once again. Just coming to kind of chop it up, do a little update, and kind of just talk about some things that I've noticed since I've been here. A lot of you guys, if you've been to Medellin before, you probably already noticed some of these things. But yeah, so you know, we had a good day so far. It's about 2 o'clock and I'm just kind of out here studying and whatnot. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I did a video with you guys last night, and I was telling you about, you know, the family and everything like that. So last night, I ended up talking to Johanna, the girl that I'm staying with, the host family. I was talking to her last night for like a good hour, and I haven't seen her much in the past 2 days. And she was like, "Oh, your Spanish today is really good." And the thing is, because like I was sitting here like last night after I did the YouTube video, and I was like, you know, writing down, you know, different things that I want to remember. I was going over it. I was speaking it out loud, and I was, you know, using common sentences. Like now that I'm with my son, it's always like the we form. Like, you know, we're going here, we went there, you know, we were walking, we were doing, you know, whatever. So I'm used to just talking in the yo form. You know, in the past and in the future and all that, but there's a lot of things that in the we form, it's I know it, but I'm not used to it. So I was basically just practicing, and I was telling a story about what we were doing the other day, and I felt like, you know, I wasn't talking slow, I was kind of speeding it up. You know, she was like, your phrases are more like correct, like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, and your talking is more fast, like you're like, you know, Spanish is good today. I'm like, okay. Some days I don't even know how to say "cómo estás." You know what I'm saying? And then some days I'm like, "ba-da-da-da-da-da." You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing of, I just, like I said, brain fog, confidence, and multiple other factors. That's what I chalk it up to. So that kind of boosted, you know, my self-esteem. You know, like I said in my other video, you know, once you feel like you have like blunders, you know, in talking to people, and you kind of mess up a couple times, it kind of kills your morale, and you don't want to keep talking to people. And then once somebody compliments you and you have a whole, you know, 10-15 minute interaction and everything is understood, you know, at that point you start, you know, wanting to use the language more. Today we went to Parque Poblado. It's very touristy. If anyone is in Medellin looking for a really, really good Spanish school, Total Spanish. It's in El Poblado, like most of the Spanish schools are. The area, I mean, Poblado is beautiful. You know, that's where, you know, they try to make it more like, I don't know, not modern, but like, you know, they got the KFC, they got, you know, Domino's, and they got different things like that. Basically just to try to appeal to tourists. They do have a lot of like really nice looking bars, outside patios and stuff like that. It's really expensive. There's a lot of hassles. A lot of people, you know, that travel to Medellin, you know, go there. When I came in October, I was still living out here, which is more of like a rural-ish type neighborhood. You know, but every day I was going out there to do my classes. So yeah, I walked past there today and I talked to one of my old teachers, and I told her, you know, I might come back for like a week or something. But anyway, Total Spanish, that's a really good school. As a side tangent. So yeah, I took my son out there, and we were just kind of at the park. We were walking around. We bought some fruit. Stopped by this little breakfast place, Bonielos 10. It's in calle 10. Pienso. Sí, calle 10. It's kind of like a no frills, little spot, for about 10,000 pesos or 12,000 pesos. It's like a huge plate. Like, you really can't finish it, or you're gonna have to pack it and take it with you. In US dollars, that comes out to about like $3.29 or something like that. So like for $3.29, it's like basically you're gonna be eating all day on that. So we stopped there, got that. Arepas, huevos, y queso, arroz, y todo. So anyway, that was just, what we did today, and I got some footage of that, which I'll either put before or after this clip, either way. But yeah, we stopped in this little restaurant, and basically I was able to communicate with her. I knew everything I wanted to say. Sometimes I like look up stuff on the translator, but today I wasn't even doing that. I was just like, boom, I felt like I knew what I was talking about. Then my Uber driver on the way back, I was talking to her. We had a couple moments where I didn't know what she was saying. She was telling me, do I want the windows down or do I want the AC? And then I didn't catch that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, go on, and then she's like, oh, she knew English. Like, she was like, oh, AC or window. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not used to hearing, that's not like a common conversation vocabulary. So I'm like, I don't know that. But anyway, then we were talking about our kids and talking about different stuff. And I felt like I was, catching on. Maybe the Medellin, accent is not as hard as I thought it was. Initially, I'm starting to see how they talk. So overall, it's like a good day. It's like 73, 74 degrees, with a nice breeze. We've been out, like I said, all day walking around, stopping at a restaurant. We bought some fruit in the park. I was talking to the fruit guy, and see, that's another thing. When you're in Poblado, everybody thinks like, with how I look. I mean, some people, if I'm in if I'm in this neighborhood, depending on how I'm dressed, some people might not know that I'm like not Colombian. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you're like in Poblado, they're basically gonna think that almost everybody there is a tourist. And they're gonna kind of watch your actions, watch how you dress, how you talking, whatever. And if you've been to Medellin, everybody's just selling candies. Oh, please help me, I'm homeless, I'm a refugee, or whatever, I need food for my baby. And they'll just be selling like a bag of candy, and it'll be like, I might have a couple coins, they'll give you a couple candies. It's like everybody sells candy here. That's the hustle. I've never had so much candy in my purse, I swear. Like, everywhere I go, like, you go to dinner, afterwards you pay your bill, they give you candies. You're walking on the street, somebody has candies, once in a while I'll buy a candy. I'll give a couple coins, they give you a couple candies. It's like, their hustle, like, oh, I'm broke, whatever. I mean, it's not that different than most like major cities. Like, being from, I just moved from Chicago. People panhandle like crazy, Here it's like a little different, but nonetheless, you know what I mean? So if you're used to like coming from a big city and then you come to Medellin, like you're not going to be too freaked out about the people, that are, always trying to, beg for money and hustle and sell candy and sell this and sell that. It's kind of aggressive, but to me, it's like in Chicago or wherever, you're going to get the same kind of the same stuff. So for me, it's not that crazy, but that's one thing. I've never eaten as much candy, had as much candy on me, and had so many people try to sell me candy in my life. Seriously. But so yeah, I was talking to the fruit guy, and he was trying to sell me a couple strawberries for like 10,000 pesos. See, that's one thing. I was talking to him in Spanish the whole time. I knew everything he said. He knew everything I said. Probably by my accent. You know, I'm sure in Spanish I have an accent. I wish I didn't, but at this point I'm sure I do. So he still was like, okay, you speak in Spanish, but like you're not from here. So he said, well, 10,000 pesos for a couple of strawberries. I was like, no, papa, not today. We not doing that. And he was like, 8,000? I'm like, no. He's like, 5,000? I'm like, okay. I'm like, give me a nice little pack of strawberries. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll come at you with the 5,000. Like, so that's another thing. When I was here before, I never knew the prices of shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm like, yeah, I know that's like a ripoff. So, you know, I feel more comfortable, like, you know, I'm still new to Medellin. Like, I just feel more comfortable in general. Like, I was asking people for directions. You know, I was making small talk with people. I understood most interactions that I had. So, you know, overall it's good. I'm having a day of, you know, confidence in my Spanish. I'm trying to find a daycare later. The grandma here is taking me to this daycare up the street. I mean, right around the corner. Because, you know, I do work online and I do want to go back to that Spanish school and just take classes, like maybe, you know, register for 1 week. It's like 2 hours per day or something for one-on-one classes. And obviously he needs to be somewhere, you know, while I'm doing my classes. So I need to like figure that out. I'll make a whole separate video on schools and guarderías and Medellin, because I thought it was going to be a lot easier to find schools and daycare in Medellin. And I researched beforehand, and I'm in a lot of like mom groups and stuff. No, it's super hard to find schools and daycares here, especially schools. Daycares, you know, are kind of easy depending on, you know, what you need and what you're looking for. But anyway, so I'll make that like a whole separate video because I'm on here rambling. Just wanted to let you guys know, you know, how it's going in Medellin, you know, how it is, you know, in a Spanish speaking country when you're trying to learn. And that's pretty much it. So I'll be coming on here doing another update soon.